we really need to understand, and I think people need to understand that what we are seeing, this is real. You've got billionaires, not just Elon Musk, but you're that billionaire who gave Leonard Leo $1.3 billion to spend however he wishes. And he is funding. They are literally funding this infrastructure changes. This goes beyond the Federalist Society. And so we can't be willy-nilly about what is happening all around us. There is a clear and present danger of the right wing who wants to attack anything and everything that Black folks have benefited from. It's right there in our faces.
Mm-hmm. You know, Roland, it's amazing how you have been sounding the alarm since Taraji mentioned Project 2025 back in June. And now we're starting to see their game plan with all the Trump picks. I mean, these are unqualified individuals. And so it's not going to just impact Black people, it's going to impact America. I mean, you know, just listening to you and Janai Nelson, I started writing down some notes on just the Supreme Court. Let's just take the Supreme Court, for example. Citizens United, the Chevron case, Roe v. Wade, affirmative action, Voting Rights Act are just a few that the Supreme Court started to unravel before the implementation of Project 2025. Then I started writing down some other things, Roland, as you were talking, and you mentioned in your book 15 years ago, Brown versus Board of Education, Loving versus Virginia, Miranda rights. I mean, if you think about this, if we don't have Miranda rights, Roland, that's going to impact every Black person that is profiled, that they want to give police officer sovereign immunity. And so when you start to look at where we're about to head into starting January, the gravity of this is not just the unbalance of checks and balance in our government system. This is going to be billionaires running wild, Trump running wild. And let me make this last point, Roland, is this. All these individuals that voted for Trump, these picks, Roland, they're not for them. It's not going to solve their problems. It's not going to solve their kitchen topic, table topic issues. These things are solely for Trump. It has nothing to do with the 74 million people that said, yes, he's our guy. We voted for him. They're about to see the unraveling of this, the protections that America have for them.
You know, Lauren, I listen to a lot of these brothers and sisters, Black folks who are MAGA Trump supporters. They talk about, what they want to get financially and how things are going to happen. And I'm sitting here going, do y'all understand? They are not trying to help you financially. They are not trying to help you launch businesses. They're not looking to expand SBA loans to Black entrepreneurs. And all of these people, they don't even realize that the programs that have been created, that they have been able to take advantage of, they want to get rid of them. And I'm like, I don't know what world y'all living in, but that's exactly what Project 2025 and the Republican agenda is all about.
Yeah, and they couldn't even be bothered to even hire like Byron Donalds or Tim Scott into the cabinet on a very insular and individual level. You don't even see them, helping anybody that actually helped Trump's campaign, to this point, much less a groupthink about African Americans in general. Typically in a Republican administration, there is a group of Black Republicans who does see some benefit. We've yet to see what group of Republicans that's going to be. We haven't seen anybody yet. I happened to see Byron Donalds yesterday on Capitol Hill, and he kind of looked sort of glum. And then he did an interview last night where it seems like he's sort of left out in the cold with regard to a administration appointment. But obviously, this is a culmination of really the Southern strategy that started in the late 60s. It's the culmination of Roger Ailes being an aide to Richard Nixon, and then, of course, going on to start Fox News. It's the culmination of the planning of Leonard Leo and the Federalist Society, and you can see that the Republicans play a long game, and the Democrats are nowhere near catching up to that, not even figuring out on a basic level maybe a 4 or 5 year strategy. And that's been a huge problem. And I'm not sure what is in store for the DNC or the Democratic Party in general with regard to leadership, but their leadership is not strong enough and not modern enough at this moment to go up against what they're going up against, which is a system of lying and disinformation and deliberate misleading of the public, which works in this media environment with a media that is very not up to the job of keeping up with misinfo and disinfo and lying and everything else. And so what this is, to me, is a moment where they are now going to control, of course, all 3 levels of government. And I think they're going to use that control to the maximum, to the absolute maximum. I mean, this is a group that returns again. And we see certain players who I actually think are worse than the first group that came in during Trump's first term.
Absolutely. And, Joy, again, I just, people need to understand that when you start talking about massive cuts to federal programs, and I love these people who think, oh, yeah, let's do all of that, because what they're thinking is, oh, that's for them. No. That's also going to be for you.
That's right. It's for you. And a lot of those poor white people who voted for Donald Trump, it's for you, too. A lot of them are dependent on Medicaid. A lot of them are dependent on all the same social services programs that they think are for people of color, but it's also for them. The cuts to Medicaid to fund tax breaks, tax cuts that they are not going to get. Cuts to Medicare to fund tax breaks that they are not going to get. That's what they will feel in their pockets. But look, I want to make sure that we're giving a message for those who are out there who, if they're watching your program, they know. The question is, what do we do now? Right now, as the DNC regroups, et cetera, we need to be, as an individual to person, talking to the people in our families, talking to our so-called white friends, talking to our white family members. We have a very integrated culture. Talking to the people who are in our lives and explaining to them what they're going to see, explaining to them the consequences of a vote for Trump or a non-vote, and really, as he disappoints them, underscoring what level of mistake this was. Donald Trump is a cult leader. Part of that is there too. There is no logic here. And I think we keep trying to understand it with logical terms. But the fact of the matter is he is a cult leader that is feeding white supremacy, a feeling of anger that the world isn't what it was promised. And therefore, they're taken in by him. This is classic. We understand this. We need to be talking to our own people and trying to deprogram them through loving communication and direct communication. And I know that's not always what we do here, but I hope I'm talking to everyone in my life who may be on the fence. When people come talk to me about transgender people and stuff like that and distractions, I correct them lovingly and I walk them through it. Because that's the work that we got to be doing in the next couple of years.
Hi, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Fanbase is a free to download, free to use, next generation social media platform that allows anyone to have followers and subscribers on the same page. Fanbase was built through investment dollars from equity crowdfunding from the Jobs Act. People just like you help build Fanbase, and we're looking for more people to help build Fanbase. We are currently raising $17 million in a Regulation A crowdfund on Start Engine. We've already crossed $2.1 million, but we're looking to raise more capital from people just like you that deserve the opportunity to invest in early stage startups without having to be accredited investors. So right now, I'd like you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase. right now, today. And then use Fanbase to connect with friends, grow your audience, and be you without limits.